Hey everybody, topic of today's video is going through a season of uncertainty or unclarity. Now this is something that I've been going through recently and I picked up on a few tips that I think you might find useful in the case that if you're going through something similar to what I was. So, feeling uncertain about your next step in life, about what your purpose is, about what to do in a relationship is normal. Feeling anxiety, worry, doubts, fear, frustration is also normal emotions to feel in this type of season. But what you shouldn't be doing is allowing yourself not to do anything about it. So if you find yourself with this belief that you'll take action once you know and have a clear picture of what your purpose is, or where your relationship is going, or what your career path is, then I'll take action. But what you're doing there is giving your power of choice to external forces. Take this for example. There's a picture on the ground, but it's covered by dirt. Sure, you can see the edges around it, but you can't completely see the picture. And so instead of kneeling down and brushing off the dirt, you just stand there and you tell yourself, well, I'll just wait for a gust of wind to pass by to clear off the dirt. And so that's pretty much what you're doing when you're not taking action in a season of uncertainty. You're giving all your power to external forces outside of yourself instead of being able to do something. And that's just going to lead to more disappointment because you're not influencing this outcome in a way that's going to be desirable to you. At the opposite end of the spectrum is taking an aggressive approach to this. So using that frustration that you have as energy to take action. However, if you use this frustration and anger in a wrong way, it might lead you to making a ineffective choice or approach, because you might be using too much emotion in your decision. You might be doing something as a reaction instead of responding and thinking it through and contemplating all the ifs and then taking action. So take the Israelites, for example, when they were waiting for Moses to come down from the mountain while he was talking with God. They got frustrated, and so they went up to Aaron and they demanded Aaron to create them a god that would lead them out of from where they were. So Aaron was kind of put in a corner, and he felt that he had no other choice but to succumb to their demands. And so what he did was to tell them to bring all their gold, and he'll melt it down and build a god for them. So he did that, and he built a molten golden calf for them, and that was going to be their leader. But God saw what they were doing and told Moses to go back down and take care of them. Moses, when he saw this, people were going crazy. They were partying, they were drinking, all this crazy stuff was going on. He was mad. He had the 10 Commandments, the stone tablets of the 10 Commandments. He threw them down. God casted a plague on them, and he made them wander in the desert for 40 years. So I'll take it from the Israelites. Don't try to make a decision based out of emotion or without really thinking things through, because most of the time they're going to lead to an undesirable outcome. But there's a middle ground approach, and this is the approach that I kind of figured out because I was at both ends of the spectrum. I was being, at a lower level where I wasn't taking any action, and then I was really, really contemplating about doing something out of more emotions. So the middle ground approach that I figured out and learned about was a 4-step cycle, which involves prayer, patience, silence and solitude, and taking action. So the first thing that I did was pray to God, pray to the Holy Spirit, pray to them for guidance, pray to them to help me surrender to whatever emotions were inhibiting my actions, to help me surrender to any thoughts of worry, of doubt, of concern, or whatever emotions that might not be helping me make a better decision. The second thing I did was be patient. As they say, patience is a virtue, and indeed it is, because without patience, it's going to lead you to taking, not well thought out, actionable steps. So being patient, waiting to hear back from God. Third thing is spending time in silence and in solitude, because what you're doing here is tuning into God's frequency. Being silent, being in silence allows you to hear your thoughts a little bit more clearly. So whether you're reading something, or maybe you're talking with somebody, or maybe you come across something, and when you come across it, it just hits you right then and there. You know that's God talking to you. You could feel it. It makes sense to you. And so it's very important that we tune into the radio frequency that God is in, and that's by being in silence and in solitude. So, maybe spend half an hour, maybe an hour a day, just praying, writing, reading, whatever it might be, and sooner than later, you'll hear God's voice through maybe a video that you're watching, or maybe a book that you're reading. Maybe it's in the Bible, or maybe it's a different book that you read. And so try to stay away from social media. Try to stay away from news, because all that kind of clouds your judgment. It clouds your emotion. It stirs you up a little bit too much. So try to spend some time away from that. The last one is take action. So up to this point, you've been praying, patience, you've been spending time in solitude, and enough time God will reveal to you what step it is that He wants you to take. So once you know what the step is, you take it. You ask God for strength to help you take this step, or whatever it is that you might need at that moment. Maybe you're feeling doubtful about taking that step, but you know it's the right step to take. Maybe you're feeling fearful, so you ask for strength. You ask for faith or peace, whatever it might be. And so once you take that step, you see the results, and if that's what you were looking for, then you repeat again until you reach the goal that you set out for. And again, this is, taking off the dirt from the picture on the floor. So the more you do it, the more you brush off the dirt, the clearer the picture is going to be. So it might be one cycle of doing this, or it might be several. However it may be, you have to rinse, repeat, and recycle until you reach your goal, until that picture is clear as far as what your purpose is, where to go in your relationship, what your career path is, or whatever the case is that you find yourself in. So I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments below, and we'll talk to you later.